Hey, so we're back again with another software development video, and in this one I'm going to be going over Fluentd. I'm actually going to make my Fluentd videos into a series. So in this first video I'm just going to go over how the Fluentd framework works and what its purpose is. And then in later videos, I'm actually going to show how we can use Fluentd to take some logs that have been generated from a Golang application and collect them using Fluentd and then send them off through Elasticsearch and then ultimately into Kibana for data analysis. So yeah, so Fluentd is an open source log collector. You can take in logs like Apache access logs, or you can take in front-end app logs or back-end app logs. You can also take in just system logs or any kind of database data. And then once it's collected from Fluentd, Fluentd will do whatever type of transformations that you need done on it, or maybe filtering through that data that's collected, and then it'll send it off to whatever backend that you would like to send it off to. So it could be a database like MongoDB, or in my case, I want to send it off to Elasticsearch that will then go to Kibana and be visible there. So that's what Fluentd is. It's a log collector. The installation instructions are here. I'm actually going to be installing it using Docker. So let me see if I can find the Docker Fluentd documentation real quick. Yeah, so if you look up their Docker image, it'll have all of the different steps that it takes to go ahead and start that up. You can use that Docker image, or they also have the Docker Compose, which is a bit easier since it already has all of the different configurations set up for you. And you just follow the instructions and it'll help you set that up on your local. But in another video, I will be going over how to go through that setup and for Fluentd. So that's the installation. Then you also have configurations that you can perform on the files. More so in the input plugins is where I would usually hang out when I'm looking through documentation and then trying to solve whatever type of problem that was given to me. So the tail plugin allows you to basically read the end of a file continuously as the source. So say you have like a app.log file, Fluentd is going to be looking at that path that you specified for where that file is at, and it's going to be reading it while it's being updated live. And then our output plugins are another major part. You can take your logs after they've been collected and transformed or filtered through, and then send them off to a file to be stored. Output HTTP, that would be your endpoint that may lead to have your logs be pushed to Kibana. So file and HTTP are some popular output plugins I've used before. And then the Elasticsearch one is what I've been working with recently, and it allows you to collect all your logs using Fluentd and send them off to Elasticsearch. And this works if Elasticsearch and Fluentd are in the same server, so you can just reference it by its host name and then port number and just send it off to Elasticsearch to store. So yeah, those are like the highlights through the for the documentation of Fluentd. There's a lot more to this, as you can see. You have filter plugins, parser plugins, formatter, and you start to get into those other kind of niche plugins once you start to have more like unique problems that you're faced with. Maybe your data isn't clean and you need to do some type of manipulation so that you can clean it up and send it off to its final destination in whatever type of format is needed. But yeah, that is just the quick overview for Fluentd documentation. And in the next one, I'll get started on actually setting up Fluentd and sending logs to Elasticsearch.